In this video, we're going to be going through the top 10 etiquette tips for when you have to go to court. Hey everyone, my name's Dave. I'm the principal lawyer at Harper Finch Lawyers, and I've helped thousands of people successfully navigate Queensland's criminal justice system. Let's be honest, going to court is stressful enough, whether you're a defendant or a witness, or maybe you're just going to support someone. The last thing you want to do is to do the wrong thing and upset the judge. So tip number 1 is to dress appropriately. First impressions do matter, and what you wear can make a big difference about how you're seen and perceived in a courtroom. Courtrooms are conservative places, so you need to dress smart. Make it obvious that you're showing to the judge that you've dressed for the occasion. Obvious things to avoid are t-shirts, shorts, thongs, clothes like that. Also, when you go into court, make sure you take off your sunglasses and your hat, because those are one of the fastest ways to annoy a judge. Tip number 2 is to arrive on time. This is for 2 reasons. Firstly, you don't want to be making the court wait for you. If you do, that can have consequences with how the judge treats your case. But secondly, if you're running late and you don't let the court know, then the matter could be dealt with in your absence, or a warrant could be issued for your arrest because you're not in court at the correct time. So my advice is get to court at least half an hour before your designated start time so that you have time to find the building, go through security, and then find your courtroom. Tip number 3 is to be respectful to everyone in the courthouse. I'm not just talking about the judge here. It could be the bailiff or the court clerk. It could be employees at the reception or the registry of the courthouse. Other lawyers that you might have to deal with. Doesn't matter who's in the courthouse, you need to make sure that you show respect to them. When talking to the judge, refer to him or her as Your Honour. Don't interrupt anyone, and show courtesy at all times. Tip number 4 is to make sure you turn your phone off before you walk into the courtroom. If your phone starts making noises while inside the courtroom, especially when the judge is talking, that's just going to frustrate everyone. Also, it's going to make you look bad, and that could have consequences about how your case is handled when it's dealt with. So if you need to call or message someone, you can leave the courtroom, do what you need to do, and then head back into court. But again, just make sure your phone is turned off. Tip number 5 is to speak clearly, but only when you're meant to. If you're asked a question, answer it clearly and concisely. But if no one's talking to you, especially if the judge isn't talking to you, then it's important that you stay silent. If you start interrupting people or speaking when it's not your turn, that's going to annoy the judge, and that could affect your case. Tip number 6 is to watch your body language. So if you're sitting inside a courtroom, make sure you don't slouch. Sit straight, have a good posture, show the court that you're showing respect. If you're standing, again, make sure you're standing straight. Don't put your hands into your pockets, don't cross your arms. You can either keep your hands by your side or you can hold them behind your back. If someone in the court is speaking to you, you should maintain eye contact with them. And whatever you do, don't start yawning or slouching or doing something that might indicate you're not treating the whole process with respect. Tip number 7, it's an easy one. Don't bring any food or drinks into the courtroom. Firstly, eating or drinking inside a courtroom is seen as a sign of disrespect. But secondly, it can be noisy and it can be distracting. So if you're hungry or you're thirsty, go outside court, do what you need to do, and then go back in. Tip number 8, similar to some of the ones I've already discussed with you, but when you're speaking, especially to the judge, make sure you speak with the appropriate language. In particular, use Your Honour when referring to the judge. Don't say don't mumble when you're speaking. Show the judge that you are being polite and courteous. Tip number 9 is to follow the court's instructions at all times. So the judge might tell you to do something, the court's bailiff or the clerk of the court might tell you to do something. It's important that you do follow their requests. Don't try to argue or talk back to them. At the end of the day, it is their court. They are responsible for making sure that cases run smoothly and efficiently. So if they ask you to do something, it's important that you comply with their request. So last but not least, tip number 10 is stay calm and composed. It doesn't matter how stressful or traumatic the experience is of going to court, it's always important that you stay composed at all times. If you start yelling at people or getting over emotional, that's going to hurt your credibility. If you find yourself getting overly emotional or reacting to what people are saying, you can ask the judge if you can just have a minute to compose yourself. Depending on the situation, the judge might allow you to take a seat while you take a few breaths, or the judge might even allow you to step outside of the courtroom for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that, while you compose yourself, get calm and relaxed once more, and then you can head back into court to continue. If you follow these 10 tips, your experience of going to court is going to be a lot smoother and the outcome will be better for you. If this has been helpful to you, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel so that you can stay up to date with Queensland's traffic and criminal laws. And until next time, thanks for watching.